What's up, guys? It's AttackonSamurott, and here is another Pokemon Sun and Moon Showdown OU battle for you guys. So this time I am using the current team that I made for my mixed Kommo-o team, rocking the Kommo-o with the same set: Autotomize, Focus Blast, Poison Jab, and Clanging Scales, rocking the Life Orb. Then we have Kartana, still same old, Expert Belt, Defog, Leaf Blade, Sacred Sword, and the Smart Strike. And of course we still have the Arcanine, but this time I actually changed it. Without having Crunch, I actually got rid of it and gave it Extreme Speed because I didn't want to be out prioritized by anything. So that's why I had the Extreme Speed, also to get off some late game chip damage if I need to. Then we have Toxapex. So this time Toxapex does not have Baneful Bunker. I actually got rid of that and gave it Haze, so that way it can be more effective, because running Baneful Bunker, like I had mentioned in my team builder, doesn't really help Toxapex that much, because one, it can give a guts boost. It can give a guts boost very easily. And two, it doesn't really, help with like steel types or anything. It's good for protecting. That's pretty much all it can do. It's only good for that. But Baneful Bunker will be more effective, like Pokegame has said in his video about Toxapex. They'll be more effective on a team, on a Merciless Toxapex, because this one is actually Regenerator. It'll be more effective on that, because with Merciless you actually get crits on poison type, on a poisoned opponent. So that's why I feel like Baneful Bunker will be better on a Merciless one. But this one's Regenerator, so it's supposed to live, it's supposed to take hits, and it's supposed to be able to set up hazards and such. So it basically has the same set, just without Baneful Bunker, and is replaced with Haze. Then we have Lilligant, like I had mentioned before in the last couple of videos that I had with Lilligant over Shiinotic. Basically it's just a better Shiinotic, and it's just a faster Shiinotic, I meant to say. And instead of the Mudsdale, I actually have Mamoswine now. I wanted Mamoswine because I realized that hazards are really important for Kommo-o to be able to actually, chip things, to be able to actually take things down, because it can't really do too much without hazards up. So if hazards are up, then Kommo-o can actually be more effective. So that's why I have Mamoswine now. So Mamoswine actually has Stealth Rock, Earthquake, Ice Shard, and I gave it Stone Edge because at the time I wanted to use it in game, and I didn't really have Icicle Crash, but now I do, so probably I'm going to end up changing that again in the later times. So anyways, my opponent is Maar with a very hyper offensive team, rocking the Smeargle, Pinsir, which is actually Mega by the way, Zygarde, 50%, Mimikyu, Porygon Z, and the Kartana. So this game was very crazy. That's all I can say. It was a very crazy game and a very good game at the same time. I learned a lot from it, and my opponent learned a lot from it too. So you're gonna see in 3, 2, 1, let's go. So my opponent starts off with the Smeargle, calling it the hyper offense lead, because it really is though. I go for the Sacred Sword, bringing it down to its sash, as he goes for the Sticky Webs right here. So I think he predicted my Defog, or no, he actually predicted my Sacred Sword again. I guess maybe thinking I'd be like Scarf or something. But anyways, I go for the Defog, getting rid of the Sticky Webs, and I'm able to Smart Strike the Mimikyu, which was great. And also I don't take that much from Shadow Claw anyway as he goes for it. So he's going to switch out. He's going to go in his own Kartana, predicting the next Smart Strike, which was a good play on his part. I do get the crit right there. Just pretty unfortunate for my opponent. But he's going to switch out because he knows Arcanine's going to come in. And he's going to bring in that. I go for the Close Combat. Goodbye Smeargle. So the Smeargle is gone, which is amazing because that means he can't get up hazards, and that means he can't really whittle me down. He's going to bring in Zygarde on the switch in, and then he's going to switch out, predicting me to predicting me to, I guess, switch out into something else. But I just stayed in and went close combat anyway. So he's going to bring in the Pinsir, and now he's going to switch out as I went for the close combat. And now he's going to bring in Zygarde. And I'm going to switch out because, I'm going to switch out my Toxapex because I don't want to get hit with a ground type move. He's going to actually predict the switch out and go for a substitute as I bring in my Lilligant. So I go for the Giga Drain. It does not break the sub. So that is a problem. This Zygarde was a big problem for me. Since I didn't really have a great answer to it. But I'm able to break it after 2 Giga Drains, but he's going to set up another sub. So it's not really looking that great for me. He set up 2 of them. He set up a he's setting up 2 coils, which is bad. Very bad for me. So right here I go for the Defog, thinking that it will get rid of everything else, but nope, it doesn't get rid of his sub. I thought it did, but I was wrong. Apparently Defog does not get rid of subs. So I go for the Sacred Sword and I'm able to break through. And since Sacred Sword actually does damage not based on it actually does damage regardless of how much you set up or whatever. So I go for the Sacred Sword, it does a good amount. I go for it again and I get a crit and it's still able to take out the sub. I don't think, even if I got the crit, I don't think it would have mattered. But he's going to set up a third coil. I go for a Sacred Sword again, weakening him even further, and he 1000 arrows me, and that is gone. So my Kartana is gone, which was kind of bad, but not really. He goes for the Extreme Speed as I bring in my Mamoswine. Go for the Ice Shard. It is not able to take out the Zygarde because that Zygarde is way too bulked up right now. So he's going to go for the Extreme Speed again, and that's going to take out my Mamoswine, which is actually very bad because now I don't really, because at this point I didn't have a way to really deal with the Pinsir. So I go for the Focus Blast and I miss, which is just fantastic. I went Focus Blast because I didn't want to go Clanging Scales predicting a Mimikyu or whatever. So he goes Extreme Speed again, and is able to take, and I switch out on the Extreme Speed, bringing in my Toxapex as I go for the Haze. So gone, all of his stats are gone. So yeah, Haze is great. So I go for a Skull, but it doesn't break through the sub because that's especially defensive Zygarde from the way it's been taking my Giga Drains and my Skulls. So I go for the, so he goes for the 1000 arrows. It's gonna do a lot. I go for the Haze, no more coil. So basically I have to switch out right here. So I switch out my Toxapex. I go into Lilligant as he goes for 1000 arrows, not doing that much to my Lilligant since Lilligant is max HP, so it's able to take that 1000 arrows very well. Go for the Giga Drain and I'm able to break through that sub. So I'm guessing I probably got a high roll right there because before the Giga Drain didn't take it out. But right here I go for a Giga Drain again and he goes for another coil. So yeah. So basically, from the looks of it, I'm really trying to get like a high roll or whatever. He goes for Extreme Speed. I go for the Sleep Powder, and I land it, thankfully. So that is amazing for me, because basically what that means is that he's forced to switch out. So he switches out, goes into the Kartana as I go for a Giga Drain, getting a little bit more health back, plus the lefties as well. So right here, I switch, go into Toxapex as he goes for the Leaf Blade. So I don't know why I went Toxapex. That probably wasn't the best play. I think maybe I was predicting him to go for Smart Strike or maybe Sacred Sword. But anyways, I bring my Kommo-o to take the hit, hopefully, but it doesn't take the hit, and Kommo-o drops, and that is bad because he gets a Beast Boost. But he's not Scarfed or anything, he's Life Orb, so that means I can bring in my Arcanine, and I can Revenge Kill the Kartana with a Flare Blitz. So this is looking fantastic for me. Brings in the Mimikyu, I switch out, I go into Toxapex as he goes for the Shadow Claw. Again, not doing that much since Toxapex is my physically defensive wall, so I'm able to take those hits. He's gonna switch, he's gonna go back into the Zygarde as I recover on his switch in. So that's pretty good for me, but at the same time it's not because he could potentially wake up. So I switch out, I go into Lilligant because I want to put that Zygarde to sleep again. So bring it in, and I'm slowly getting more health back. So I go for the Leech Seed as he actually wakes up on this turn, and he coils up right away. So this man is not playing around with his Zygarde. He is playing to win. So right here, He goes for extreme speed again. I go for toxic and miss. If I didn't miss that toxic, then I'll be able to slowly willow down the Zygarde. But he brings in the pincer, and I went for toxic on his switching as he brings in the pincer. Now this right here was not great for me. Honestly, I should have went for the sleep powder, because now that this thing is toxic, that means I can't put it to sleep, and that means that he's on a timer, but still, there's really not much I can do. He's gonna go for the earthquake as he Sword Stances up, then goes earthquake. I go for Haze, I live it. So great, no more SD. He's gonna go for the frustration and take out my Toxapex, which is kind of bad, but at the same time it's not really. So I bring in my Arcanine, and I'm gonna force him to switch out as he brings in the Mimikyu to sack. So attacks Mimikyu, gone. So there goes his Mimikyu. He has to bring in Zygarde right here, and right here I have to switch because I cannot deal with that Mon. So he is gonna go for a coil again, as I think I just went for Giga Drain again. No, he goes extreme speed right here as I land my Leech Seed. So great, again Zygarde is slowly getting whittled down, which is what I wanted. So he goes extreme speed again. I go for the Giga Drain, and it's almost going to take out that Zygarde, just barely. He's going to get more lefties back, and then Leech Seed is going to bring him down even more. So right here, I predict him to go for extreme speed, but what he does right here, he makes the pro play and goes 1,000 arrows, and my Arcanine is gone. So basically what that means is that I lose because of that. So I'm able to take out the Zygarde, but because he made that play and went for the 1,000 arrows on the prediction into my Arcanine, he's able to get the win, and that is a GG. So yeah, this was a very fun game though, not gonna lie. He definitely had me. It was definitely, you know, like a back and forth thing. I really like that. I like games like these, honestly. But then at the same time, Zygarde was kind of a problem though. But I feel like I could have played the game a little bit better though. Especially with the Kommo-o. Like, I probably could have potentially like set up on something else, like maybe but really, like, I'm trying to like get my thoughts together. But I think honestly I could have played a lot better. Like Kommo-o, I could have played Kommo-o so much better in this game. The fact that I just let it drop after a +1 from the Zygarde, and plus the extreme, and plus the Leaf Blade, like, honestly that was not great for me. I should have just switched into Arcanine, honestly, when I had the chance. But because of that, I lost the game. But still, this was a very close game, on his part and my part. But if I just stayed in, took the 1,000 arrows, and then just Giga Drain, then I would have won. But probably he would have most likely with his pincer, he probably would have set up right after I took out his actually no, he would have probably went extreme. He probably could have went for the quick attack, taking out my Lilligant, and then he probably would have to keep going for quick attack on my Arcanine. But I think if I just stayed in with Lilligant and just weared down the Zygarde a little bit more, I could have potentially won with my Arcanine. But still, this was a very, very close game. So good game to my opponent, Marshaw. Yeah. So leave a like and comment for more of these close games. Again, I really want this game to be the start of these of my new and improved team. So yeah, so leave a like and comment if you enjoyed the battle, and I will provide you with more content. So take care and have a good one.